package is here. Have your ad run on our live streaming episodes, linked in the video description and attached to our many hot take clips. The channel is fast growing with thousands of views and subscribers. Don't miss your chance to grow your business on one of the fastest growing platforms on YouTube. Join the family today. This might be risky. Email us at thismightberisky@gmail.com if interested. Hashtag Indeed, hashtag do the right thing.
All right. You had to stand P. We in the building. How y'all doing tonight?
All right. Good.
Good. I gotta get control of this baby, but in the meantime, I think it's gonna be an interesting one this evening. Women's point of view. We're gonna explore, and Rotunda gave me the definition, but I like to use it. I think it's more provocative of the word divest. But should black women consider divesting? Ro, what did you say the definition of what is it? Divestment, divesting. What was that actual definition? You remember?
The definition of divesting is to deprive yourself of something, but I'm sorry, that ain't it. My bad. The definition is to deprive yourself of something.
So does that have a negative connotation?
Well, it just depends on what you're divesting in. So most of us are probably, if you know anything about that apartheid, they used to use that in the 80s about divesting from investing in companies that were taking advantage of South Africans. That's divesting, meaning to take away. It can be negative, but it also can be beneficial if it's used in the context of benefiting yourself.
Okay, so we can potentially be using it correctly then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so did you guys hear about Jonathan Majors?
Yep.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
It's been all over the place.
Yeah.
Does everybody know who he is?
He's an actor, Hollywood actor.
Yep.
Yes.
He played in Creed.
What
3.
happened? I know who he is, but what happened? I missed it.
Oh, girl, let me catch you up. Sunday afternoon, him and his girl were in a taxi cab. I think it was a taxi cab. And she tried to get his phone from him, and he snatched it back. And in the scuffle, she got minked. He minked her.
Allegedly
Minked her. But she was also wilding out on him. And so the police were called by him. He actually called the police. However, they tried to charge him because I think she's I believe she is.
What does that mean?
And she has mental health issues.
What's that mean?
Because that's why they charged him.
I know what I'm saying. What is it? They can't hear you.
She's Caucasian.
Allegedly, or she is?
No, she is. I don't believe she's allegedly a Caucasian. I think she is Caucasian.
Does anybody else know? Does anybody have any more facts about it?
She is. She's of the lighter persuasion.
What are you talking about? Is she white or not? What
She is.
I said yes, she's Caucasian. That's what Caucasian
You're
is.
not doing all this and lighter what are you
like? From the Caucasus Mountains, as you would say.
As you would call it. She white.
Man. Okay.
And so then he called the police because he was scared for her mental health because she was wilding out real bad. However, they charged him with assault, I believe.
Okay, I'm just trying to get it back straight. Okay, so they was going off on each other, but he called the cops, and then but he got arrested.
Correct.
Because she's not black, and then
I said white, Hamp. Dang, I said white.
Thank you. Adrian.
Okay, but it's like, is that why he got locked up? Like that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like why? What? So he's still in there? Like what happened?
No, he recanted her story now.
Lord, where was this at? I missed it, Lord.
He is out of jail.
Okay.
And she recanted her story. However, he still got charged afterwards, which is the problem and the dilemma.
I thought he got charged when they brought him in, and then she recanted after the fact.
They didn't drop them? Is that what happened? They didn't
did
drop
not
the charges
drop
after
them.
that.
Correct.
Ah, got it.
So
Okay. All
he
right.
still has to go. So you have to go to arraignment for them to get dropped. So he has to go to court and they can get dropped after that. So there's a process to it. Is the assumption that they will get dropped?
His lawyer believes they will.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw some of what the lawyer said. He said there's witnesses and video evidence. So some of his, so he went to UNC, School of the Arts. I guess it's supposed to be pretty high end. And then he got his, I guess it's a master's from Yale, which is a hard school to get into for arts and such. So some of his classmates were saying he's always been like this. They also said that he only hung around white people. This was also his white classmates talking. And one of the men, I forget his name, even went so far to call him a sociopath. So this was all said, and then the lady had recanted. Now, as we know, maybe you guys would agree, women, I mean, that has happened, right? Like somebody, well, a girl will call the police and then not want the police to take the man.
Yeah.
Even if he did something wrong.
Right.
So I want to believe that he didn't do anything wrong and she was wilding, but we know this, it could be either or. So
yeah,
Jonathan Majors, white girl. I heard somebody allude to the fact that that was maybe the reason why he got locked up. Anybody want to expound on that?
Since I said it, I'll expound upon it since I said it.
Okay.
Typically, you know, with the white woman tears, granted, she was probably crying because she was upset and they were fighting, right? But the white woman tears, we know, get weaponized. And when police officers come, mainly white, they will take the side of the crying female, and happen to be a white female. They just usually snatch the man up, typically. And it's an unfortunate thing, because he was trying to get his phone back. We weren't there. I wasn't there. So in his effort of trying to get his phone back, men are about their phones. He may have snatched her and maybe who knows? I mean, in the scuffle, you're trying to get your stuff back. Somebody might have got smacked, right? And then she's trying to keep the phone and get, so I get it that she may have had like a scratch or whatever. But they were in a scuffle, and it's just a tricky situation. But for him to get charged, and not necessarily her, but she was also involved in the scuffle. I mean, granted, he's super built from Creed, and that looks a certain type of way as well. He's a strong black man with a nice broad nose, and this is a white girl crying and upset. He hit me, that kind of thing. So it was just very inflammatory and explosive.
How much does her being a white girl allege? Because they didn't come out with it, I don't think. How much does that matter? Mary?
A lot.
Yeah, why?
That can be the determining factor. I mean, of course, as we all know, they handle certain situations and cases differently in regards to that. Just like the situation that I believe happened down here in Florida where the black dude is dead, but they didn't even get the white girl in jail as quick as they did, charge this man with assault or whatever the case may be.
That white girl that killed him, about that white girl that killed her boyfriend? Was that
allegedly?
Right, that allegedly, killed her boyfriend due to domestic violence or whatever, self-defense and all that, but was out the next day, party, going out with another nigga and shit like that. But then, they go as quick as to charge a black man with assault or whatever the case may be. But, so yes, it is a determining factor.
Anybody else got an opinion on that? That dynamic?
That's why I had actually asked, because this was my first time hearing about it. So that was my first question, honestly, was, is that why he got locked up? Because I heard y'all say, okay, she was white. And I'm like, well, that's the first thing I'm thinking about. Not what he did, but, he was a white girl. So no matter what he did, like, that explains why he's behind bars. And that's sad. But I mean, honestly, just me kind of coming from the outside looking in on this, that was my first inkling. So.
Okay. So it's maybe, are we saying that's not specifically what he did, but who he did it to, allegedly?
I mean, yeah, that was my first thought. Was like, oh, because y'all mentioned, like, just because it was mentioned, it had to be an important fact for me. So I'm like, okay, well, he was a white girl. He got locked up. 1 + 1 = 2. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't what he did. Like, that wasn't even a question, because I didn't even ask it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, sorry. And I think it's like as well, like look at a lot of other these cases that even if they are like black couples and stuff like that, for somebody to get charged so quick, like that's not adding up to me.
Also, most of the time when it's black couples, if it's a domestic dispute, y'all both getting arrested.
Yeah.
That part.
Or they just remove somebody from the home and don't arrest nobody. Like, so it's like for this to happen this quick, like something not, the math ain't mathing.
Well, could the math not be mathing? Because one of his charges is also strangulation. Sis, what do you think about that? Strangulation, assault, and I guess they said it was a domestic because even though they were in a car, I guess they were dating, so that makes it domestic.
I mean, they're gonna try their darndest to put him under the jail, but if she's the key witness and she doesn't cooperate with them, then the case is gonna be a little harder for that state. That's just what I'm thinking. Hopefully she doesn't, because she probably knows what really happened. You know, those are my thoughts. Outside of that, I'm hoping that a lot of black men stop dating these white women overall. It's kind of like you got to learn from other people instead of going through it yourself, because you don't really need, a lot of black men don't need to date white women. Like, it's unnecessary. So hopefully they look at this and learn from it.
And by unnecessary, what do you mean? You're on mute. By unnecessary, what do you mean?
It's a lot of black women that are unmarried, right? And interested in black men still. Like, we haven't jumped ship. So what's the point? There is no point. There's absolutely no point to date a white woman if you are a black man.
Okay. So Dana.
Yes.
Interracial dating, yes or no, and why?
What? I don't know him. I mean, I have so many mixed feelings about it. For me, I don't care for black people dating outside their race, but I also grew up in Southern California, where everybody's either black, white, Mexican, Filipino, or a combination of the four. Like, everybody is mixed. Everybody's in an interracial, relationship. So it's the norm that I was exposed to. But having grown up and being, in this area where I'm around a different demographic of people, where there are far more black people than I'm used to, and I'm seeing them in all different walks of life. I'm with sis. I don't really see a reason why you need to step outside your race, because you got the whole, we run the whole gamut here. And I don't, while I don't disagree, or I'll never tell anybody who they can and cannot be in a relationship with or love. I don't subscribe to it, but I don't judge it either.
Okay. Ro, what you think? Interracial dating, yes or no, and why?
I say yes. I think that love doesn't, like, necessarily, I hate to sound cliche, but I don't think it has a race or a color to it, as long as you can respect the culture and respect me, respect my family. I think that there is room for someone outside of my race to love me, and vice versa.
Okay. So Dana says no. Rose says yes. Ish, what you think?
I think once upon a time I said I got one more black man in me. However, I really just cannot see myself with something other than a black man.
Okay, so you recant.
I'm going to recant that because I was just talking foolishness, but there's no attraction to anything other than a black man, honestly, and I like him real dark too.
Shit like that.
Nay, what you think about it?
It's kind of hard because I do think that you should be able to love whoever you love, but I'm gonna always prefer that you date your own. However, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of like Isha. I was like, I don't know. Before I switched teams, though, I was looking at the other side for a moment. I really was, but I think you should be able to date who you fall. You can't help who you fall in love with, but at the same time, that can be hard. Mary, like, she's like, yes, you can. It can be hard because, oh man, that's a tough one. It can be hard. I don't know. I can't really say yes or no. I guess it just depends on the person. If you're willing to be subjected to whatever you are subjected to, dating outside of your race, it's gonna be some hardships with it. I'll be honest, there will be some hardships with it, but yeah, I don't know.
So Nay, it's Tuesday, but I have to be candid with you. You haven't really said anything.
Okay.
No, just think about it. I'll come back.
You date your own. I prefer it. So I'll say, yeah.
No, I'm not. It's not Wednesday. I'm not asking you to make a deliberate, definitive, but you just kind of just saying everything.
Because I'm in between. Like I am. It's like I can see why people do it, but it's hard. I don't know. It's a tough one for me.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
I'm sorry. It's a tough one.
All right. Asia, what you think, man? Nay made it hard for me. You on mute?
I wasn't talking. I was trying to see how I was going to answer this question. I have before. I have. It was different, but as far as marrying, I don't know if I could do that. Like little yin yang, like play around, whatever. Yeah, but not take you seriously. Like I'm not bringing you in my bloodline. No.
So you're saying you would have relations with a white man, but not marry him.
I didn't say that. I said a little play thing. Like we can go out on dates. We can take walks. We can, get to know each other. Whatever. Be friends. Go on.
No, I'm trying to understand because you said a little yin yang. I don't.
Time.
So you're saying just like hang out with a person?
Yeah, we hang out. When I was younger too. When I was younger, when I had more time on my hands. I don't have much time on my hands now. I'm getting older.
Man.
You know what? I think we should keep. Now this is gonna sound real bad, but I don't even care. I think we should keep the bloodlines pure. That sounds real bad.
This might be risky, so you said it.
What'd you say, man?
This might be risky. You said what you felt.
I keep them pure. Like I want blackity black.
But all of our bloodlines ain't pure.
I said that. I know they're not. But what I'm saying is, I prefer to keep them pure. I said we got enough of them back in the day through the bloodline. We ain't got to perpetuate it going forward. But that's, it's a risky statement. That's why love is risky.
Why is it risky to say that black people should be with black people?
Well, no, I'm saying everybody should be like white with white.
Yeah. But I'm just, if we're being specific.
Because it almost sounds like we're being racist too.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think it sounds limiting. Like to me, I don't want to limit myself. Like I do want me a black man, but if somebody else beat him to it, then sorry. But I prefer that.
Would you marry outside your race?
I'm open to love in any form.
Yes, that's why I switched teams.
So yes, I would.
Okay. So just let me ask you guys a question, and not to derail, but I just want to, if you think my logic is sound. So when you hear the word racist, right? If you say like a gymnast or a pianist, what does a gym mean to the gymnast? Like, what does the gym need? Like, what does a piano mean to a pianist?
Everything.
Do they like the piano?
It's everything.
Do they have an affinity for the piano? Do they take care of the piano? So if you're a racist, would that just simply mean that you prefer what you are above all others? Does it have to have such a negative connotation? Because a suffix ist means have a interest in. No, I understand connotations and whatever the case is, but that sounds like it makes sense to me.
No, I agree with you on that.
I
I'm
never
not
thought
arguing
about
with
it
you.
like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I never
can't
thought about it like that.
having an interest in something mean having control over that thing? So black people can't really be racist because we don't really control anything.
I think I think that's the third definition of having power over. But I'm just saying, just in terms of the suffix. But yeah, I mean, good point. But I don't want to derail. I just had that thought. Mary, what'd you think about what Tay said? She open to love in any form.
Lucky it's none of my business. But my question to clarify: now, when you say interracial, are we talking about black and white specifically?
We're talking about interracial. So, black, white, black, Puerto Rican, black.
I'm Puerto Rican, so I can't say I wouldn't want my black man. I've only been with black men.
What's your dad?
Else. My dad is black.
Oh shit, you black? The hell you arguing about? Mute.
Because I'm black to some people and not to other. Because I'm too light.
Okay. Damn.
Anything
So
mixed with black is black.
But me personally,
so hold on. So let me just get this straight. Interracial daters say I. That means I.
Okay, wait. Okay.
Aye.
So to Mary's point,
Nay. Stop. Interracial daters say I.
Aye.
You guys are all over the place.
Not interracial marrying though.
So stop. Ain't this isn't Wednesday, so I'm not going. So you got Tay. She doing all. See, for everybody on the podcast, Tay over here jumping, jacking, and celebrating and all that. We got Ro. We got Love. We got Nay. And then the non-interracial daters. Again, they didn't say they hating. They just saying that this is not their preference whatsoever. You got Mary.
Elaborate on mine.
No, Mary. Even though she's
Aisha, a dark-skinned black man, so nothing else matters.
Shit like that.
Sis and Dana. Okay. So do you think that do you think love can come in the same way from any race, color, creed? You think it's going to feel the same from a man that's not of the same origin, Ro? Come on, bro. You give me a lot of dead air, Playboy.
Yes. I'm saying yes, I do.
Okay,
and I think that because everybody's perception of love is different, and when you find your mate, you and your mate are going to match. It's not going to be like, oh, black people love each other a certain way. Black people can cater to each other a certain way, but my white spouse or white partner can't cater to me like the black people do. That's about environment. That's how you're raised. So I think that is possible for them to love you based off of how you love.
Go ahead, Dana, then Mary.
I was gonna say you can't trust nothing that Rose say because she got 10 female best friends.
And you know what? And all of them were watching.
She just say love from everybody. She give love to everybody. I'm not rolling.
So if you guys came across a white man that loved you, gave you everything that you needed, you're telling me that you would not want to be with him because he was white?
A white man can't give me everything that I need ever.
No, I would take B up on his offer first.
Oh damn!
I love her. I love her.
I hear what you're saying, Ro, but to answer the question, I don't think I could ever get everything that I need from a white man because our ability to relate to one another, our experiences, our history, our culture, the unspoken culture that we have, that we all share. My friend Serena and I talk about this all the time, how we as Black people have an unspoken culture, and we grew up in different households all over the country or different parts of the world, but we all have the same understanding about certain things that's just unspoken. And everybody's mom, aunt, family members, we relate to one another the same way. And so introducing someone into my life, and not only introducing him, but making him the leader of my household, and you don't understand my experiences, you don't understand my culture, you don't understand my daddy, you don't understand what it's like to be a black man in America, you can't raise my black boys. Should I have them the way that I need to be able to raise them? So you can't do nothing for me, but more power to you. You know, if you want to be a part of the Rainbow Coalition, that or you know, that's your business.
We don't have to go all there, but I actually, so if he was Latino or if he was African, he can't relate to you.
African's black.
African
no. African.
Oh, culturally.
African.
Okay.
So by what she's saying is based off of where you grew up and what you know of the American Black culture, you're telling me that you would not be able to marry an African man or a Latino man that grew up in the same environment that you grew up in. Is that what you're saying?
So he grew up in America?
Yeah, he grew up in America.
So he's a black man in America who speaks Spanish or who speaks Yoruba?
Well, again,
because society still treats him like a black man in America, and he's going to
have. What would be the difference? What would be the difference between a white man raised in the South and raised around black people in the South, and then him marrying a black woman that's in the same environment as him?
I think she's saying
the difference.
His plight is different.
What would be the difference?
I think the difference is being around a culture and being familiar with a culture is not the same as being a part of it, being ingrained in it, or it being ingrained in you. Being familiar with it, just because you have black friends and you know you have a black Southern accent and you go to black churches or whatever, you got a black girlfriend, that doesn't mean that you understand my experience, my history, my legacy. You don't understand what we encounter because that's just not your reality. You don't wake up every single day and you're not made aware that you are a certain color. We wake up every single day and know that we're black, and we're reminded of that throughout the day, every single fucking day. That man can't relate to that shit.
Okay.
Before I go to Mary, just say yes or no. Do you put raisins in your potato salad?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Nope, absolutely not.
No.
Like, why would you? No, absolutely not. What?
Sis?
I eat them, but outside of my potato salad. I eat them by themselves.
So just note, everybody who can take love how it come and it don't matter, you will be having raisins in your potato salad. You fuck around too much. All right, Mary, what's up?
It's not happening. And it's not saying that someone outside your race can't love you. My biggest issue is always going to be where they come from. So although they may treat you a certain way, there's always going to be their parents and their grandparents in the back of their head saying, boom, 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 it's not supposed to be like this. And I definitely wouldn't trust no white man that's been raised around black people in the South, because slaves come from here. So they have the worst of the worst parents, grandparents, and everything coming from down here. So I definitely would not be with no country white boy. Personally,
Florida's not the South. I hate to interrupt, but Florida's not the South. So there's a difference between Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi than Florida. Florida is not the South. And there are some white kids that were raised by black grandmothers and neighborhood women who took care of them outside of their family. And that's all they know.
I don't want a hillbilly. I won't do it. I don't think it's realistic. Even back to what Dana said about raising our kids, like a white man can't raise my son to be a strong black man. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I said, a lot of it comes derived from their background of their families. People don't understand. I don't care who you don't like in somebody's family. It's so much easier when you get along. It's so much easier. I don't want my kids to be playing one day with one of they with one of their nieces and nephews and call my kid a nigger, and then my kid react, and then here they go fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just unnecessary trauma. A lot of it can bring up unnecessary trauma.
So let me ask. So Kev actually posted this question. No, let me wait. So, has anybody had a change of opinion, i.e., with the raisins or not being able to raise your black son, or it just you're gonna get in wherever you fit in, Tay?
Yeah, I'm still open to love of all forms.
Gotcha. I've seen a lot of relationships and marriages fail because it's predicated on love. What do you think about that?
What do I think about marriages being predicated on love?
And failing dramatic, pretty substantially.
I mean, it might be a skewed perception from a single person, but I think it takes more than love. That's apparent to me, just from the relationships I've seen around me. But yeah, it takes a lot more than that, and people need to connect, not just communicate as in talking, but connect on a deeper level. Other than that, I mean, it won't sustain.
Yeah. Okay. I just want them to get clarity on what you were saying, because when they jump in your DMs, I want to be for the right reasons. Miss Nay, have you clarified any of the 20 points you made, or you just...
I still think that you should be able to date whoever, but I definitely can understand what Dana is saying. I definitely do.
Not the cap.
Okay.
No, I really do, because you want that person to relate. It's kind of why I did want to go to the other side. I had one more black man in me. I was going to go to the other side, and then I said, no, I'm not going to. So I kept trying with black guys. But, to be honest, a lot of times I feel like black men don't always relate to a black woman. They always find something wrong with us. The first thing they'll say is, we don't like that you have degrees. We don't care about your education. I mean, that's what I be hearing. We don't like this. We don't like that. So it's like, you don't like us. That's what I was feeling. So it was like, well, then, okay. So then that's why I kind of expanded. But have I dated outside of black? I've dated African. I had Haitian. I've had Puerto Rican, Dominican. I did. I never had a white guy, but I was open to it. And then, I felt like I wanted to be able to relate to somebody black. And so I just kind of switched teams. So
Asia, I noticed you unmuted when she said, it seems like black guys don't like you. I remember B brought up a study. Now, one of the studies was indeed from OkCupid, but they did several studies. If I'm not mistaken, somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. I think one was at University of California, Berkeley, too, about black women being most undesirable. But if you use the Cupid information, 87% of the people who participated were white in the study. True. So I guess I'm asking that to say, Nay saying black men don't like us and we doing all this nodding. The white boys sure as hell don't like y'all.
But there's more than just a black and white race. Like there's Asians, there's Indians, there's Latinos. So when I say interracial dating, it's not just relegated to specifically white men.
So you dated East Indian
men? I've dated outside my race before.
We're actually the only culture that doesn't really stand on not going outside our race. Like all these East Indian and all that, you think they want? No, they don't want us. They want the other East Indian women. Them crackers, they want the other white women. Like nobody really, and I had just said this, it is actually frowned upon. If you've worked in corporate and you know corporate, it's actually frowned upon if you see somebody that's trying to be in head and they're with somebody that's black. Like if you're not married to a white woman, the picture is the white man with the white woman head in corporate. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's frowned upon. Like people don't want that. Like to me, when I be seeing people like, a white person with a black girl or something, and she looks like, like a pretty black girl, big butt, all that, I feel like he got jungle fever or something. I don't think he really be like long-term thinking.
Well, also like Asia. He just like Asia said, she would date a white man, she wouldn't marry him. I'm listening good.
I wouldn't. I mean, they smell funny. And
so married like Asia.
How you gonna date
I said I couldn't let them in my bloodline. I'm not letting
we're,
my
we're the
bloodline.
only ones that are accepting of changing our bloodline, though. Like a lot of these other people,
I don't want them in my bloodline. I don't. I think we've got diluted enough.
So you would have jungle. It would be for the moment, but you're not gonna take them personal.
I couldn't make the leap. I'm being very honest. I couldn't make the leap. I could not make the leap. As far as like having a good time and dating, again, when I was younger. Now I'm older, I'm not doing that crap. But when I was younger and just dating, having a good time, yeah, I did. I dated white men before. I've dated an Asian before. I've dated
an Asian. How was that?
I was just gonna say, girl.
and a Latino from Ecuador. So I've dated. Because I wanted to experience life. And like I said, it's not always just sex, right? But
Not the cap.
It wasn't. I just couldn't see myself marrying into those families, and vice versa. I know my family too, because my mother would not have that crap. But it's a lot to overcome. It's a lot of obstacles, and you have to be really ready to tackle those obstacles. And love is hard, and meshing two different people, period, is hard. So imagine very stark, different cultures. It would be like an uphill battle.
Love, when I asked the question, though, you said no. You're good. I'm not talking to you. When I asked the question, though, you said you were for
interracial dating.
But it just sounds it's broken, right?
I'm not marrying nobody though.
But you date to marry, don't you date to
marry? Now I do. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Now I do. When I was younger, in my 20s, I was wild. I was.
I'm not eating no raw meat.
I was wild.
I can't even imagine a white man touching me. So like, it's just there. Like, I like my men nice, dark,
I didn't have sex with them though,
and skinny. We know, because you only been with 2 men ever in your life. We know. But
yeah. Them two, and that's it. And my husband was black, and my son's father is black. I continue the black bloodline.
All I'm saying is I be knowing, but so Ish, you say you can't even think about one of them touching
you. I don't even want him to touch me, honestly. I like my man nice, tall, and skinny, and black.
Shit like that.
With broad noses, he just pull out that pink thing, like
with broad noses. Yes,
that pink thing just sitting there.
That's a dog, I think, sis. So Kev he asked this when you said what you said, like it's no need for a black man to go outside. It's an interesting thought, not necessary, but what are you offering these men for them to not date outside their race, other than I'm black, you black?
What are the white girls offering the black men? Like I can reverse that question.
Submission.
Well, let's just answer.
Your head.
He asked this question.
I don't really know what he means by that. Honestly, what are we offering? He can call me. I'm not going through that, Kevin.
Let me play this clip real quick. And I got permission to play this.
Nigga, peep game. Dealing with a white chick, right? It's 5:30 in the morning, bro. No crazy long text messages. No blowing up my phone. It's 5:30 in the morning. I've been out since like 10. I left the crib at 10. It's 5:30 in the morning. I call her. No argument when she answered the phone. All I ask her is, what you want from Mickey D's? I'm gonna grab it. No argument, no where you been, no nothing. All she said is get her a burrito, a breakfast burrito. Bro, I can't beat that shit, bro. I ain't do shit. I was just out. Yo, can't beat that shit. Fuck y'all niggas.
Wow. So
she must ain't never had no black
wanted because she was white.
Wait. Sorry. Real quick, it faded out a little bit. He said that all she said was what in response?
Just give me a burrito.
Okay.
But then he said, you can't beat that shit. Fuck y'all niggas.
Because he can get away with whatever he wants until.
Well, I think. Okay, so what is your first thought from that video? Go ahead, Mary. First, wait. When I say first thought, I sincerely do not mean a very long, drawn out thought. Just give me your first thought.
My first thought is he a weak ass nigga.
Okay. Tay?
I just don't know why the assumption would be that someone else will react differently. Like he must have had bad experiences with other black women, is what I was thinking.
Okay. Nay?
She let him get away with anything. He can do whatever he want. He like that.
Dana?
They can have his clown ass.
Sis?
Yeah, he gonna have to stay over there.
Ro?
She's setting them up.
Love?
Dana and Ro. They're doing what they said. That's stupid.
So your first thought was what they said after they said it?
Literally, my first thought was he's a clown.
Okay,
and
that's
he likes
good.
to use women.
All right,
and
that's
they,
it.
them
That's
white
it.
girls can have him.
See, for some reason, the most veteran people on the panel just can't seem to. I'm about to take her out in the middle. TPP, you keep on acting very with all that high decorum. You're going in the middle. I'm gonna tell you that now. Isha, she don't even know what that means. Isha,
I'm thinking I wouldn't argue either if
Put
I
Isha
was
in the
her.
middle.
I'm matching energies. I'm staying out too.
Wow.
So, so that's what you guys got from that. Instant jabs. Instant, he gotta be weak or this, that, and the third. But what if it's just peaceful? What if there's understanding that he just out and he's still gonna make sure she's straight and she didn't need anything?
Yeah, for that night, for that morning, but definitely a setup for later on.
What if I told you that this video is 2 years old? They now married with a child and got a house and everything seems from outside looking in, everything was copacetic because this is an example video, but I've heard this that white women, because that's specifically what he's talking about, have a different decorum and different disposition. And it is standardly more peaceful. And also what Tay said when she was like joking but serious is sex, head, and all that is not hard to come by. While from some black men's experiences with our women, those things can be difficult, especially the head thing sometimes, right? It's often contingent upon something. Again, this is how men are feeling. I'm saying it's factual. And that it would not have been peaceful in that house if you would have stayed out that long. So sex and peace are two things that right, just using that video, are saying that it's probably easier to achieve with a white woman.
I think it's easier to achieve with a white woman until she does not get her way. Where with us, we're going to approach you immediately. They will sit and let it fester until I don't know, until they're not getting their way or something happens. And then at that point, what's happening? We got football players being recorded for hitting them, doing stuff like that. He's been hitting her that whole time. And now she wants to record the video, put it public and everything else. So I think the only difference is we will immediately get with you, where they will allow things to fester and set you up like in the worst type of way.
So what about Robin Givens and Mike Tyson?
What did she do? She got beat. She let it fester until they
Robin
did that.
Givens?
Yes, until they did that interview with Barbara Walters, and she said herself that was her out. That interview with Barbara Walters was her out.
So you're saying Robin Givens acting like a white woman?
I don't know if she's acting like a white woman, but if the shoe fit, I think that's what she did. I think that she sat there and allowed the abuse until she felt like it was okay for her to publicly put it out there.
I think I just don't. Are you saying that the white women take it further when they're hurt or past a certain point or something?
I think that they wait until it's to the point where it's so extreme that now things are in the public, where we will talk to you, will immediately approach you. But for them, I think that they sit and allow things to fester and wait. And by the time it gets to 10, it's blown up.
Okay. So you said clown love. Why? Because all he expressed so Kev, shout out to Kev, right? What Kev first thought was. So why did he get called so many names? And then the reason why I'm asking, because he got called this, that, and the third week, and so on and so forth. But then I think every single person sat up here and said, but people choose and love and do what they want, whether or not you support it or not. It just seems contrary.
So the reason why I said clown is because that's disrespectful. It really is. Like coming home at 5 o'clock in the morning, like that's just straight disrespectful. And that's problematic. And I think any person, woman or man, that lets you disrespect them like that, but you call it peace, that's problematic and it's toxic. That
So
means
what's
you can
not
do whatever you want to. Go ahead.
I want you to keep going, but I just want to know what time is not disrespectful.
Ain't nothing open past midnight but legs. And I mean that. Like, not it's a cliche, but it's like if you got a woman, but they were dating. Were they living together? You don't know.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, let's just assume. I'm making assumptions right now.
Mm-hmm.
But he said when he got home, on his way home, what you want me to bring you for breakfast. I'm assuming they live together. When you live with someone, there's just a certain respect that you give that person that you live with. And you don't come home after midnight. And if you do, have communication. Call and be like, I'm running late. Or you tell your dudes, I'm going home to my girl.
Question.
Go ahead.
Would you have reacted in the you would have went off, you think?
No, I'm calculating, to be very honest with you. I'm very calculating. I would get him back to where he'd be sitting there crying in the corner.
Question.
Because I would stay out late and wouldn't talk to him and come back real happy, go snappy the next time he wouldn't even expect it.
Yeah. You guys have to pardon me from getting confused because Rose nodding, but you were just saying white women are calculated and they wait and then this, that, and the third. And then when I gave the Robin Gibbons example, all you did was tell me she did exactly what white girls do. So is there any difference? What are we? I'm a little bit confused, but I want to let Asia finish her thought. Go ahead, Asia.
Okay. I wouldn't I wouldn't fight, I wouldn't fuss, I wouldn't throw anything. I wouldn't say anything because I just like being strategic and I don't want you to know my hand. I don't play my hand. And I would get my lick back. I would, and he would be upset and he would be, blowing my phone up probably around 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And I'll probably get my homegirl's house. He just wouldn't know. But you're going to feel all of this.
Go ahead, Tay.
Okay. So I'm an analyst by day, right? But so that was like a 15-20 second clip, right? So there's not enough information for me to come to the conclusion that he's an asshole. That was my first thing. Cause I don't know what they talked about the night before. Like he could have been like, all right, babe, see you tomorrow. Have a good time. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? So that's what I was thinking. I'm like, okay, well, she just happened to be white. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get her the benefit of the doubt, whatever.
Well, why did he feel the need to say that?
That's my first thought. Like,
a white woman.
Right, and that's why
there's an implication there, right?
Yeah.
So if you notice, just to clarify the video, and Tay, let's say, right, just for sake of the convo, there was no conversation the night before. That's why he said I was out from 10 until 5, no calls, no bullshit. And then also he said, fuck y'all niggas at the end, which leads me to believe he talking to men and they like, yo, why you with this white girl? Just to answer Dana's question.
I didn't get that, but okay. All right, thank you. That was a little more context, but I still don't get the negative connotation on I still don't feel like fuck him. Like I still feel like, oh, okay, well that's cool. Like, all right, he just like white girls. I don't know, but I'm just an optimistic person. Like I don't give a fuck because I know he not for me. Like he just okay, you know that ain't the one.
I think for me, it was more the intention of the video. Like, for you to intentionally make that intention, like you're saying, whether you saying fuck niggas or fuck black women, like, if it's fuck us, it's fuck you too.
That's what I heard, Mary.
You're already light skinned, so I already don't give a fuck. So that is what it is, because to me, light skinned niggas are pussy. But it's more like it's more like the non-communication. I think a lot of times men think we as Black women are an issue, but they also don't know how to properly communicate with us. If something happens and my dude is out late, all right, you call, like, check in, like, hey, I'm gonna be here a little later than whatever. I wouldn't have nothing to say either. Yeah, bring me home a fucking burrito. You know what I'm saying? But for you to be out anywhere for that long at night, one, you're a Black man, so I don't know if you're safe. Two, it's just like, we have kids together. If that's the case, if we have kids together, you not even checking for them or whatever. Like, a safety, people tend to forget it's the safety too. Black women are very caring. They are very wholehearted, regardless to what other people may think. Black women are caring. I feel like Black women are love. And it's like us knowing that if we're with a Black man, he's out there late as 5:30 in the morning. Like Asia said, ain't nothing open but legs. So it's like, damn, like, you haven't hit me up. Like, are you okay? I'm not calling a trip on you. I'm calling to make sure that you're good.
Okay. See, I didn't think about it in that context.
Who you want to date. That's exactly why I said that. Date who you want to date, because I've actually had a Black guy say some bullshit like that to me, and it was like, you know what? Date who you want to date. It's cool. I don't want you then, it makes me feel like, okay, do Black men even like Black women because they say stupidness like that? Like, and that's happened.
Well, that makes sense now that you put it like that. Girl, I've been single for too long. I don't be listening to what these niggas talk about. But okay, I mean, I got you. That makes sense, Mary. So
Kev is just saying he was speaking to the men that were clowning him for crossing a color barrier. That's what he got from it. That's what I gathered as well in terms of the end of it, But it just, so we're upset at him for where Ro going. I need some answers.
I have a quick question for you, Ham.
Okay. Go to the bathroom. Go ahead.
So the quick question I had for you was, it's like, for anybody else, did you feel he was like, I can get away with murder, basically being with this white girl?
Yes.
It's like he was bragging he can get away with stuff. And it's like,
absolutely.
Why does he want to get away with stuff? Like, it's like he's taking advantage. I am not capping for the white girl. I'm not standing up for her, but why do you feel you want to be with somebody who can get away with things or do whatever you want to do?
He said it's easy.
He said peace.
But easy is peaceful for him.
And so why would we want to choose someone like that? Like, why would we as high quality Black women want to choose a man like that? That you want easy, I can get away with stuff without being held accountable.
So
I think accountable is not
go ahead, my bad. Go ahead, Asia, my bad.
The last thing I want to say was, it's like he doesn't want to be held accountable. He doesn't want to be held to a standard. And that shows me as a problematic man. Therefore, that's why I called him a clown or whatever else I used. That's the reason why.
So what makes you guys say he's getting away with something? Like why are you saying that? Because you think that it was too late for him to still be out?
Hell yeah.
He was like bragging. He was bragging about it.
Bragging.
So
he likes the fact that she's not gonna say anything. She's not gonna be mouthy, and she can just like, okay, babe, it's okay. Yep.
So
get burrito.
Go ahead, sir. Well, so what if the men, because it just Kev is commenting, and then Joel says, but if he's happy and comfortable with his woman, why the need to defend himself so hard? So I guess he's maybe seconding what you guys are saying. But when I heard it, I'm just thinking like, damn, she didn't say shit. Man, that must be all right because there's no noise. That's what I got from it. Peace. Like, I ain't get like you could run the streets and all that. Because he also didn't have to say in the video he didn't do nothing. So I'm just thinking like, damn, it's quiet.
So questions to you, Ham, specifically. If you're out till 5 something, as a Black man, if you're out till 5 something or whatever, past the time, yeah, of course you're not allowed, whatever. But you come back sun up and you coming back home. If you come home and your wife is not tripping, like, are you gonna be looking like, why the fuck? It's not gonna make you think like, damn, why she not tripping?
And not because you were working.
Like what she was doing that she not tripping on what I did when I know I crossed the line. You know what I mean? And that's just for anything, crossing the line. Doesn't that make you think like, why she not tripping? And I know I crossed the line.
I guess maybe just to play in the hypothetical. It's also different from me in real life because of work too.
Right, you're
You
a
know?
DJ, so you're out. Whatever. That's what I'm saying. Anything that you know is crossing the line. If you doing
Yeah, it would.
something
I
crossing
would be
the line,
surprised. I would to your point. I would be kind of surprised or taken aback. Or if I was on my sensitive shit, I feel like she don't give a damn, right? Um, but I know her, right? So it's hard to like play just in the hypothetical, you know. Like my wife may not always just say something flat out, but I know it's like her disposition will change. You know what I mean? So like ignoring or being too polite is a response. You know what I'm saying? Not polite, but you know how it is. Like,
yeah.
That's a black
you know,
woman.
that facetiousness, right? That comes out, you know. But he just saying he ain't dealing with that. And then when we hear it as men, we like, damn, that's sweet. And then some niggas go say, well, let me see.
But he knew that what he did was some fuck shit. That's why he brought it up.
And
He
why he had to
it
emphasize
wouldn't have
on
been an
it, right?
example if he didn't know it was some fuckery.
The also
Or
reason
was
why he emphasized that she was a white woman that he was getting away with.
He feel like he had to make a statement.
Like,
Yeah,
step your game up, black women.
That's that
Let
yellow
me get
nigga
away
shit
with some
anyway. So
Yeah, that's the thing. If you bragging on how great your relationship is with your girl and how happy you are and how easy you have it and how peaceful it is, what the fuck that got to do with black women? Go be happy. I mean, if that's the point of you making this video, if that's the point of this statement, then let that be the point. Why do you have to drag, indirectly black women along the way? That's the shit that makes you a clown to me.
Oh, I thought he was just talking to his niggas. Like, see, I don't deal with the shit y'all deal with.
I wouldn't even feel
I don't
like
care
I
who
was
the audience is.
if I was her. I wouldn't even. That's not even something I would look at in a good way if I was her. Like that's not nothing I would think like I'm getting my cookies for. Like to me, that would be embarrassing if I seen that video.
No, because at the end of the day, she's still a white woman, and at the end of the day, she's probably gonna be doing her plotting. She's just gonna sit there. She's like, okay, yep, to Rose Point, because I watched it happen before, so that could be what she's doing, and she's sitting there just chilling, and when he least expected.
I feel like white women are pick-me's when it comes to black men.
I agree.
Yeah. You're saying a pick me's a bad thing?
Oh yeah.
They want to feel like we got your man.
Because none of it is sustainable.
To be a pick me?
Yeah, when you're a pick me, that means that you're doing shit just to do it. Like it's one either not you or you're just doing it to obtain something from somebody.
Okay.
And like it's not a genuine, it's not genuinely who you are.
It's inauthentic, and then therefore will not be sustained.
It's not gonna stay the same. Like so you being a pick me.
Oh, that's what the definition. Okay, I didn't understand the definition.
I feel like to throw it in our face, like as a black woman, like I got one.
Yeah,
of
like I got one of y'all.
Had it happen. So,
sis, what if I said to you, black women take all the shit from black men just like these white women do? What would you say?
I think some do. Most probably don't.
I'm gonna allow this some because it's Tuesday. Go on.
That's really it. I'm not taking it though. He would have heard my mouth. Okay, you walk through this with a burrito, nigga. All right, that would have been a whole different story.
Question, sis, did you say mouth or mouth?
Mouth.
Oh, okay.
You know my teeth.
Shit like that.
Man, oh man. So 93% of black women date within their race, and I've heard the niggas ain't shit for a long, long time. So is my statement true? Sis said some and most don't, but I think it's the other way around. I think most do and some don't. What you think, Ish?
I think it's absolutely true. I think a lot of black women have that hero complex, like, oh, we can heal him, we can save him. Oh, he had past trauma, he didn't have his dad. We make a lot of excuses for our black men, so we stick with them long enough until they drag the hell out of us. And we get tired of it and we go to another nigga that's going to drag the hell out of us. But we're going to be loyal to them niggas.
Ro, you think so too?
I sent you the video, like the psychologist said. I think we're loyal to a fault, to the point where, unfortunately, we might come across the good one, and it might not be the best time, because we've captured all these, I like to call them you know, help a row, helping men, build men, be there for men, and then we not together, or something else happens and it doesn't work out.
And that's why it's so painful too when we hear Black men say those things about us. Like, let me just be real right now, because like you said, Ham, you brought this up. Most Black women take a lot of crap from Black men, and some don't, right? And so it's like we take so much stuff from Black men. So why do they have so much negative things to say about us? And that's like, I honestly don't understand that. I don't even know if y'all really do. But like, how do you, not you personally, but how do you talk so bad about Black women that hold you down and stay longer than we probably should, and bringing on trauma to ourselves because we have that innate, strong, undeniable love for you? Why do y'all do that? How do y'all do that? And then talk reckless about us afterwards. That's crazy.
I think, most people date within their race, so a lot of women aren't leaving. But I think overall, I think there's a lot of weight being put on that, like hold us down and build us up and all that shit. Where I don't know if that's the role y'all should be playing. I think you played it for a while, but it's time out for it. But if we gonna continue, sorry, go ahead, bro.
I agree. I think that's why I said by time, especially if we get older, I think we get exhausted. And so when we, like, exactly like you said, I think we put so much energy in our younger years to be there and play a role that we're just not meant to play. We're just not meant to play that role. We're not their mothers. You know what I'm saying?
I want to know from a Black man, maybe Ham, you can answer this, because I had to ask a real question. Why do Black men talk so bad about Black women when we really stay because we truly love you?
What do we say about you guys?
We don't care about your education.
You
Y'all
got
are
too much
angry.
mouth. You got an attitude.
That's all men though, saying that to all women. So what do we say about you guys?
I said we got too much attitude. We got too much mouth. We don't
angry.
know.
We're
We're
controlling,
angry,
possessive.
Not
Okay,
feminine
let's
enough.
break it. Let's break it down. Do Black women have too much mouth?
The mouth comes. Yes, the mouth comes though.
Hold on, Asia.
In situations.
Hold on. Give
He
me.
wants to answer yes or no.
Let it. And you can expound, but let it marinate. Isha, we went to school together. Do Black women have too much mouth?
No, I'm just saying. I think Black women are taught to stand up for themselves, and because we have to, we're taught to be strong. So that might come with a little bit of attitude, a little bit of mouth. Yeah, we do.
What if I were to tell you guys, Dana, somebody taught you guys incorrectly?
I would ask you to go on and expound on that a little bit.
So we're millennials, right?
Yeah.
Some of us on the tail end. Our generation, the men, right? We'd have these conversations all the time, but our generation overall, the men are doing a lot better than the Generation Xers. So then you guys were raised by Generation X women, right? With some of those ideas, notions, and constructs that they dealt with. So now you guys perpetuate that, but it's unnecessary now, right? So let's.
I understand what you're saying. I disagree though, because I don't know about everybody else on the panel. And I only say this specifically not to split hairs, but because we were having the conversation last week about Gen X's and how there was a shift with Generation X, right? I wasn't raised by Gen X. I was raised by baby boomers. So it's a different generation. It's the generation.
What year is that?
My parents are 64 and 65. They were born in 58 and 57.
It's right on the cusp, though.
Yeah.
Right on the cusp. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
But I don't know. I don't share that same experience. Maybe I'm the wrong person to ask this particular question because I don't share that experience. with the struggle love and the fighting and the, teaching the survivorship as a way of life, because we don't necessarily know any other way, or we have to do it per se. I didn't grow up like that. I wasn't exposed to that. And, I wasn't raised in struggle. I wasn't raised in having to fight for affection or for acceptance or any of those things.
Nay. Oh, damn. You made a good point, Dana. It gave me another question, but I had it. Do you think that, like, the strong black women thing, do you think it's like majority true, or do you think we live on talking points? We have men on our panel who can recite talking points well, and you guys probably know who I'm talking about from others, and they sound true and they sound good. I know a lot of talking points myself. But are we just saying these things? Like, is it actually happening to the majority of black women where they got to stand by themselves and do this, that, and the third?
Do you think that we're taught to be strong? Do we have to stand by ourselves?
Or are we just standing on talking points? Like, what if we reassessed?
I'm trying to understand what you mean by that.
I knew it was gonna get a little cloudy for you.
I'm trying to understand what you mean by that.
You my man's though. Well, just like so when you hear things and see things, right, and you keep hearing them repeated over and over, and then the people that are repeating them look like you, sound like you, had some similar experiences to you, then you live in that. That's where stereotypes come from. There's some truth to them, but again, I think black people, like for instance, watermelon, right? We all love watermelon, but the truth is, depending on a couple of niggas up here all of a sudden don't like watermelon. But for the 99% of niggas like watermelon, I'm talking to y'all. So when you go out into a field, right? Because you did field work even after slavery, right? You have water, things of that nature, but you can't maintain it. Plus it dries up, so on and so forth. If you eat a watermelon, I mean, it's like 90% water. So you can literally hydrate yourself. So it was more so for necessity. Right. But now we perpetuate the stereotype of loving watermelon. So that's my point. Are we living in these stereotypes, or are they actual at this point in the United States of America?
I don't even think it's the stereotype anymore. I feel like black women are changing that narrative, and they're rejecting the narrative of the strong black woman, because that has been our history for so long, and it's been damaging to us, to our mental health, to our very being. And so we are saying that we don't want to be the strong black woman anymore. We want to be able to express our feelings. We want to be able to emote without being judged, without being crucified, without being chastised, without being called names by black men, white men, or whomever. So I think that it's the polar opposite, and we're totally rejecting it and trying to appear to the masses to be the human beings that we have been this entire time.
Okay, so Mary, you agree with what Dana said?
Yeah, I feel like now.
Do you? I had a 2-part. Do you denounce all those Beyonce songs of the early 2000s? Then
what songs?
Independent, and you come on, all the single. I mean, come on.
No, I mean, I never really cared for the song, so
I hesitated asking you because I knew it was not. I knew you were gonna damn.
How am I derailing? Like, I mean,
get him out of here. Come on.
Let me put myself in the back room for a second.
Put him out of here. Come on.
So I knew you want. Okay.
I'm telling you, I agree with Dana. That means that I don't give a fuck about the songs. Like, I don't know where the confusion is.
Listen here.
Yes,
Boosie's song, Independence, the woman, that was my song.
You denounce it?
To this day, I denounce it because I don't want to be independent no more, okay? I don't want to hear me. I don't want my own.
That was actually Webby, but yeah. All right, go ahead, Mary.
But yeah, like I agree. More than ever, I feel like it's to the point where we realize it's not our story. It could have been our parents' story, the people before that, but we're realizing that it's not ours and it's not a necessity. I think that's where I messed up initially in the beginning part of my life, is thinking that it was a necessity, something I had to do, but that can very easily change with who you come across, the man that you're with. the man that you marry, like, you know, that can easily change. So it's nothing to be like, oh, like I think Aisha said on one show, like nobody wants to be just independent and single and just living life for the rest of their life like that. So I feel like now more than ever, that's the standard is changing. Like more women are like, hey, like, yeah, I don't fuck this independent shit.
Gotcha. So, is being married or with somebody the goal?
Yeah, I believe so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tay?
Not necessarily for me, but I do, get the point to, because okay, so as an adult, I had to unlearn and relearn some things because I grew up a certain way. I was, things were poured into me, and I learned those things. They were me, right? But when I had a shift in my mental and I realized that everything that they taught me was just because somebody taught them, and that I had to learn my own way, then that changed things for me. So, I did grow up as a strong Black woman because my mother was a strong Black woman, and I was raised, by strong Black women, but I also had strong Black men in my life. It wasn't my dad necessarily, but I had other strong Black men to look, up to, and who mentored me and who helped guide me through life. So, I mean, I don't think it's something that, like you were saying, it is something that we kind of, I think people stand on as talking points. But I do think it's necessary to do the work and to actually unlearn some of those things that were taught to us and stop doing the things just because we were taught them. You know what I mean?
Does anybody agree with Tay that, getting married or being in a relationship it doesn't have to be the goal or is not the goal?
I agree with her on that. And I say that because just letting that be the goal can be dangerous because you'll take any old thing just to hit that goal. And so I'll say the goal is to have a healthy, productive, viable relationship, or marriage, whatever it is. But it's not to have a man at any cost. I just want to put that caveat out there because that's not the goal. Just to have a man, because a lot of women got married and then subsequently divorced because they thought the goal was just to get a man, not what type of man should you be getting or be attracting or staying with.
So you're saying the goal is to get to be in a productive relationship and or marriage?
Yeah, healthy, all of that, healthy, productive, build and all that.
So the goal is to be married, but you just clarified what it needs to look like.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Isha, I see you shook your head first, and then as she continued to go, you nodded your head. So did you get the clarification you needed?
I definitely did.
Okay. And so is single. So where is single categorized? Anybody? How do we view single?
It's where you at, y'all. It's
like what's wrong with you? Those are the questions I get. What's wrong with you? Nothing wrong with me.
It's a stage like anything else. It's just something. It's something in between that goal. Like it's a stage.
Exactly.
Like you're single.
And that's how I feel. Like that's just where I am. But I'm also open to connections and things. But in life, that's just where I'm vibing, and I'm cool with that.
I don't believe nobody they want to be single for the rest of their life. I don't believe
being
nobody
single is not a flex.
Well, I didn't say I wanted to do it for the rest of my life, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm just enjoying it right now.
Right. I feel you should.
Isn't being single your exploratory season? You're supposed to just date around, date whoever until you're preparing yourself for marriage. If marriage is your goal, because it's not everybody's goal.
Right. But at this moment,
but not
I'm
everybody wants to be married. To be honest, not everybody wants to be married. They just want to date. There's some people that are like that. Not everybody. That's their goal. They might feel like I just want a lifelong partner, but I don't want the marriage, like the actual paperwork and all. Some people don't want that. They just like being able to.
The goal is still the relationship. I feel like women in general tend to ignore that. They tend to try to feel like, hey, that's not the goal. I'm on this journey and that journey, but the journey that you're speaking about, working on yourself and who you are and things like that, a lot of times is to be looked at differently by somebody else. So you're technically still prepping for that one day that you do meet somebody that is of your standard, that is good to you, and you can hope to be in his caliber for him to be like, okay, like, yeah, maybe this is somebody that I want to be with. Like, I feel like everything up to then is a prepping stage, not something that people necessarily like to mention or like to acknowledge. But when you realize, or like, I'm hurt, I got to heal from my past relationships or whatever kind of trauma you've been through, it's all to prep for something.
So I want to disagree there. I also want to disagree with that dating around thing. I don't see that being super fruitful. And when you're talking about stage, it can't be a perpetual thing where you just single and single and single. Stages mean you work for it, right? I don't know if you ever played Contra. I know some of y'all old. So you get through the stage and then you go to the next stage. The stages don't just like these new games where it's just open world like Grand Theft Auto. No, we playing old games like boom, stage 1, stage 2, like Mortal Kombat or Mario Brothers, right? So I just fear that we're using these words and then people can agree, but I think in practice, I don't know how well it turns out.
You think being single,
you do have a single stage where you're working on you, that's self-love, and you're working on you, and then you have a stage where you say, you know what, I'm open to dating, I'm going to explore. It may be okay, I just want to date around, I want to kind of open myself up to see what's out there, but you have the intention to be with someone. That
what
is
stage? What age? Because it would have to align with something, right? So what stage? What age? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Why can't it be something? Why does it always have to be someone? Like, why, you know what I mean? Like, why do you have to prep yourself? Because I'm not prepping myself for anyone. I'm not a Thanksgiving turkey, but I'm learning to be the best version of me for me. And I believe I'll run into, whatever is meant for me, love in its purest form, in whatever form I receive it in. And that's how I'm looking at it. So I had to disagree with that point in particular, but like everything else I'm flowing with, but like I just don't get, why can't it be for like a certain purpose or like a certain calling? Like, why does it have to be for a person? I think society puts it on us like, oh, I'm going to groom you. Oh, think about being married all your life. Oh, think about the dress. Like, why can't I just grow up to do something, not be with someone? Like, I don't like that.
Sis. I think I asked this before, but I'll ask it again. To Tay's point, you can agree or disagree. I just want a clarifying question. What's more important, the portrait or the plaque on the wall? Because it could be a go. You and Ro in trouble with me. Y'all stay on after class is done. I'll tell you that now. Sorry, Asia. I'm trying to be calm, but this dead air shit they doing to me is crazy, bro.
I mean, I think they're both important. If it's important to you, then have both. I don't think being single is an issue. I don't think it's an issue. I think you're single until you meet somebody. I don't know what this conversation is about. Women or men being single. Everybody's single until they found somebody. I think that's how life happens, right?
I think, sis, do you think things happen with intention though? Or you think they just happen haphazardly?
Like what kind of things?
Relationships, degrees, children.
Well, mine happened. Children, mine didn't happen. Mine was haphazardly. Drinking tequila, do you have children?
Shit like that.
So
I knew you were gonna say that as soon as I said kids.
And then, some of the guys I dated, I mean, they just liked me. It wasn't much thought. It's just sometimes things just happen. Yes, okay. Degrees, you got to work for it. You got to do the paper, you turn in your papers, do stuff like that to earn them, pay them money. It's just it's like.
So you don't think you got to do the work for everything, like whether it's relationship or the degree? You don't think it requires work?
I mean, when you're in the relationship, yeah, you work to keep it or you get rid of it. I mean, that's how life works. But what I'm saying is, I don't think being single is an issue. Like when you don't grow up as the ugly duckling and you always got to do your dating throughout life, like and then you get to a certain age and now you're just not dating anybody. That's just, that could be some people, so I mean, I just don't think it's a huge issue being single.
So let me see. Mary, and I know your outlook might be different based on your current, situation, but are black men worth the fight? That's basically what we've been talking about.
I won't date anything other than a black man. So absolutely.
Yeah. And you have you been in a lot of fights? Not real fights, but just in terms of
You know the
dealing
answer to that, but go ahead.
just in terms of dealing with black men, and you found that it was still worth it in the end?
I don't think I really fought in my past relationships.
Okay.
I was more so just like, all right, I'm telling you, I'm about to leave your ass. Watch, and then one day it happened. Like, don't you? Y'all said them white people do. One day I just ghost.
One day the crib be empty and shit, the couch gone.
No, dead ass. I did that.
So I wanted to start with Mary because I know, shout out to my brother P and shit. So it kind of like, what's she gonna say? You know what I mean? Kind of. So, hey, love. What
He's
you
sitting
think?
right there looking at her. Yeah, you worth it, baby. You worth it. Of course she gonna say. She better say that.
Yeah. So, love. What you think though? Black men worth the fight, or you all over the place earlier? But go ahead.
And I still am. Honestly, I was hoping you didn't ask me because this is a hard question. Are black men worth it? Ethereally and esoterically, yes. Practically, I'm gonna have to stand. I know this isn't Wednesday, so I can stand in the middle ground and say maybe because it's Tuesday. But honestly, for real talk, that's a hard question. It really is. Esoterically, absolutely, black men are worth the fight. We want you, but realistically and practically, why you ain't fighting for us?
Okay.
Wow. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Isha, are black men worth the fight?
I believe it. They are absolutely. I think initially, black men might give you a hard time. They might drag you, but I really believe that once you get their heart, there's a loyalty like no other. It is.
What you think, Ro? I know you a divester though, right?
I'm not a divester. I didn't say I wouldn't date black men. I'm gonna ride, and if a black man want to love me, I'm gonna be with him if he treat me right. But if he don't, and if there isn't one that does not want me, and a Latino wants me, or Asian wants me, or a white man wants me, I'm gonna be open to that because I feel like if they love me and they're gonna treat me well and do for me and I do for them and we're on the same level of love, then yes, I'm going to give them the opportunity. But that does not mean I will not date black men. It does not mean that I will divest from them. I think like everybody else on the panel, at the end of the day, black love is one of the strongest things that we can ever encounter. But at the same time, I can't just give up on everybody else.
Sis, I'm going to Dana, then I'm coming to you. Okay. Prepare. Dana.
In my opinion, there's nothing else on this earth like a black man. There's nothing else like him. And so I absolutely feel as though they are worth the fight. I just wish there wasn't so much fight.
Okay. Sis, are black men worth the fight?
My bad. I had some tequila. But let's see.
Wow.
Some of them, the rest of them, just put them in the bathroom because
put them in the fucking bathroom. Put them out
here. Some of them.
Damn. Okay.
Bruh.
Miss Nay, I don't know if you got to say so in this anymore.
You know what?
Mute up. Tay.
Right. She ain't gonna say so. She ain't no dog in this fight.
Yeah, you don't got no dog in this fight. You already answered the
That's all I
question.
ever dated was black.
She don't know she on mute. All right, Tay.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
He did you wrong, sis. He did you wrong. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Black men are worth the fight. I love our black men. I love me a black man. Okay. I just feel like we don't, can I just say we don't love on y'all enough? We don't love on y'all enough. I'm for real. Like when I be talking to my clients, all I hear is like, she don't do this, she don't do that. We don't be loving on our man enough. Anyway, okay. I love y'all. Y'all worth it. Y'all worth it or whatever.
We appreciate that too. Shout out my brother Joel.
As a collective now. I can't speak for y'all individually, but as a collective.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. All right, Nate, make it quick.
Okay. I want to say yes, black men are worth the fight. I do have 2 boys that I'm raised. So I want to say yes.
Asia, say something, man. Come on. You can't keep answering like this.
I'm not gonna lie, you have made it hard to fight for you, which is why I did switch sides. But but I'm just saying. But yes, you are worth it. You to an extent, I guess.
Mary, you see what I mean? You knew that was the answer, and you ain't stopped me, Mary.
Listen. You
It's my fault.
Asking Miss Nay. That's our. This might be risky, misagreeable.
All right, look, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button now if you can. It helps the channel the most. All right, I think this is my last question. I think. Where the hell did I put it? Let me think how I want to go with this. All right, let me just ask it. Do you qualify for the man you want?
Oh, you can't ask me that.
Do you qualify for the man you want? I think this may be one of the biggest reasons for the disconnects we have. I personally know that most people are average. I just don't think that most people know they're average, and I think that is probably the issue. I was just laughing because Sis was yawning. I love her, but I just can't. Jesus Christ. Like, come on, man. Bruh. So
Hamp, with that statement right there, then if you think most people are average, men and women, right? You think then we qualify for each other. You know what I'm saying? Well, like, no. If you're saying,
I said I. So I know that be true. And I also just said most people don't think they're average. Right, people think they are
above average.
Yeah, above average. And so they chasing and looking for people that they don't even qualify for, and then they blame the men. And I'm saying they because it's just the ladies on the panel right now. It happens to the men too. We know,
right?
But in terms of right here, right now, it's just the ladies. So I think this is happening, and then the men get bashed. Men ain't shit. This, that, and the third. He puts you in a category that you didn't know you was in, but you wasn't really the level or whatever the case was that he was looking for. So he had you in a box. You just didn't know it. So then you think he played you, but you always been in that box.
Do you think it's because y'all men be like so overly picky about what y'all want? Like everything, she got to do this, that, and the third. Like y'all want perfection, and so we feel like we have to do.
That's just not true.
Y'all want perfection in women.
Like to give you an example, a woman. Go ahead. Well, just to give her an example, Asian, you could jump in. She could be dope, but she just ain't pretty enough. And therefore, you're not going to wife her. So it ain't that complicated in actuality.
So pretty is a qualification?
Big time. For men, top 2.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
She we choosing y'all fugly ass. You know what?
Well, because
they're pretty. Whoever that man's standard of pretty is.
Yeah, but no, there's some people who are standardly pretty too. Like, you can look at there's people that you can look and say most people would say this person is pretty. Women, a man being super duper pretty in the face shouldn't be top 2 for a woman. Because that's not the man's strength, right? That's your role and responsibility, to a man in his eyes. So, or, right? You know how many, it's Tuesday. You know how many heavy set women get, be getting slayed, but you would never know it. They not on nobody yacht. They not in nobody pictures. All don't mean all, right? But because you've been categorized, you used for one thing and one thing only. You don't fit this criteria, but doesn't mean he's not going to use you for nothing else. And a lot of them not going to tell you the truth. For what? To not be able to do what they've been doing.
So then it goes back to what I was saying. It's kind of like perfection. He wants you to meet every single mark, and if you don't meet something, she has everything. She has 9 out of 10, and the only thing that she doesn't have is that she's not facially attractive. So it's like
what I'm telling you now is, if you pretty, there's a lot of marks that you don't have to hit. Just being 100% honest.
That's that pretty privilege.
But what is pretty though, Ham? Because I remember another panel. A lot of the same women were in that panel who are here tonight. Everybody, I think you gave us all a 5 or 6 at best.
I think it was a 4, Dana. I think
it was a 4. It was a 4. Nobody in here is above a 4. So if we can't rely on the pretty, and I think I'm a decent looking motherfucker,
Everybody up here, including myself, is between a 4 and a 6.
So how can we rely on that privilege, or as you said it, fulfill that responsibility to the man if we're all average? Hypothetically, just plain devil's advocate here.
Oh, is it gonna be tough? Fuck, you want me to tell you? I wish I had a better answer. Y'all motherfuckers, look, you said what Tay said. You better be blowing the socks off. Like y'all be bullshitting with stuff y'all should not be bullshitting with.
Oh my god!
Don't be up here acting like, oh, I don't fit. Nah, what Isha say? Lift that cheek up at all time. I got that from Isha. Shout out to Isha. Lift that leg up, man. He roll over. Shit, motherfuckers be acting out here like they don't. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and men too. If we was talking about the men, don't be out here all fat and sloppy and you know what I'm saying, this, that, and the third. I just
stuff, fat out of shit.
I mean, balding happens, but again, always remember for us to be attractive, that's not one of our main traits that women look for.
Well, yeah, I better get your money up then. If
that's
honestly,
exactly what
you can be fat and got hypertension and diabetes, fine, and pigeon-toed and knock-kneed, fine. But you better have some money then, if that's the case.
And stamina.
Yes.
And a big dang-a-lang. You better be slinging.
But why do you think that's a trait we don't look for? Like,
I'm just saying, it's not as high on the totem pole as it is for men.
Who told
he can be average as long as his paper and that pipe game is popping.
Money can extend it.
And that's the thing. It's still like if you look at men having to have you be pretty, it's just like women having to need you to have some kind of dick. Like, I mean, they're both kind of like, that's not right.
Or what that mouth.
But it's still just it's just what we do. Like, I can't even bash him for the whole, looks thing, because we like, nigga, if your meat small, I don't even want to if I can't see nothing through the jeans, like, I don't even want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody want to get their uteruses reconfigured, Mary. Not everybody want to have you reconfigured.
Nobody want no
insides.
Little what?
But realistically, women don't want no shrimp either.
Yeah, no woman wants that.
Heck no. But like, what that mouth do though? What that
so
mouth
do? If he knocks off 9 out of 10 boxes and he got a shrimp dick, females are still gonna say no.
9? No, I don't know.
Satisfaction is high. You want to be
9
satisfied.
9 out of 10, and we got a small dingaling. Ooh.
But you're monogamous.
Love, you know you're not messing with no small.
Right.
It can't be my only option. If this is all you working with, that can't be my only
That's
option.
what I'm saying.
That's all
Monogamy
I'm saying.
is
You can bring somebody else in, or
that's all I'm saying.
toys.
Love. What?
Ain't no man
I mean,
having.
the G spot only 2 inches in and up. Is all I'm saying. But
So all right, so y'all can talk about sex when I log the fuck off. Okay, let me just. TPP. TPP can run that panel. All right. Yeah, Dana, you got the only mind that's not in the gutter. Even sis was making faces. Somebody did like this. Sis was like.
Love we talking about bringing other people in the bedroom, girl.
So if we so in terms of the qualified, right? Women, in everybody, right? But I think more so for women, like as you age, like, are you qualified? Like, are you being realistic with yourself?
Do our standards change? You mean like our qualifications?
Yeah, like are you saying, okay, maybe I gotta accept the pop belly. Maybe I gotta accept a nigga that's 5'11" instead of 6 feet. I'm just stuff.
I've been
Yeah.
I've been dating old guys for the last
Wow, bruh.
for the last 3 years.
And I know I'm not going. I already know my man ain't gonna make as much money. He ain't gonna make more than me. I already know that, and I've come to terms with it, and I'm okay with it. He just need to be okay with it.
Yeah. I forgot what the fuck I was. So if you both of y'all, because I think So I'm gonna ask this question. Fuck it. I wasn't gonna do it, love, but I'm gonna ask it. If I asked you before, just answer it again. Ro, what percentile do you think you fall into?
Right now, I'm average. I'm not qualified to date the man I want right now.
So if 50% was like average, right, midway, what percentile you think you in? I think I did ask you this before.
And I said I would say I'm in the upper 50%, but I'm not gonna say I'm 20,
like
30%.
Lower ninth. Yeah. Okay. Who I asked Ro, I think I asked Asia. Ish, I asked you this? TPP, I know I asked you this. I did.
Yeah,
No,
you asked us on one of our shows, and then you brought it to our Wednesday show. So
that's what it was. I didn't ask NATO.
I think I'm probably a little bit above the average, the 50%, a little bit, slightly.
So you think you're top 20%?
Yeah, I think I'm popping. That's just me, myself, personally.
Do you think you're top 20%?
Yes, I'm popping.
Yeah, we just want to get one answer out of you. I
Yes,
can't believe
I
Mary
said yes.
and
You heard me?
Mary and
I said
Asia
yes.
let you act like this all night. Dana. And Isha. Dana.
I'm gonna say 35th percentile.
Okay. Yeah, so that's average. Like that's slightly above average. And do you think I'm off by saying I think most people fall between 30 and 60?
I don't think you're off per se. I give myself the 35th percentile because I feel like I'm not ever content, and I feel like I've always have. Not to sound cliche, I always feel like I'm not where I want to be, or I haven't reached a certain mark. When in actuality, in reality, I'm doing pretty fucking good. But because I beat myself up so much about not being at a certain place in my life where I thought I might be by a certain age, in every aspect, for a number of reasons, one of them that, stifled my progress for about 5 years or so. I feel like there's always room for improvement, and I can always bring more to the table, but being where I am right now, I'm kind of dope.
Okay, no, that's good. Self-esteem is very important while still being realistic. Shout out to Adrian White with the $4.99 super chat. He says, "Love the hair, love." Shout out to that. Sis, do you qualify for the man you want?
Do I qualify? I don't know. I just don't know any. No, I'm overweight. For real. Meaning I gained too much weight.
Crazy as fuck.
I just gained too much weight lately. It ain't right. So no.
Okay. Isha, you qualify for the man you want, you think?
Sometimes I'm overqualified because I have a thing for the wrong kind of niggas, but
Wow.
Yo. That's fair. So, oh my God, yo. Age, I asked you already. Did you qualify for the man you want, you think?
Yes. I do. I qualify. I think that I take myself out of the game more often than I should, be very honest with you. I take myself out too
You have
much.
a superficial reason why? Meaning
No.
not that deep of a reason?
No. The reason I take myself out the game more often than I probably should is because my I'll say my tolerance level and or I don't have it in me sometimes. I just don't have it in me. I just be real. I don't even feel like it.
Yeah,
because it's a
man.
lot, it's a process, and sometimes I'd be like, now let me get a break for a minute because I want to make sure when I do it, I'm 100%, present. And I don't always have that presence of mind. And so I don't want to be, that's a disservice to them. So I'll be like, girl, just sit down somewhere.
Yeah, nerves will kill you. Like in sports, like I'm gonna use Adrian. Adrian was like one of the best basketball players I've seen, And then like when we got to school, like he was bullshitting. He could have easily played. He could have easily started, But there's just things that kind of get to us, right? When we so qualified, so skilled, whatever the case is. So you gotta be like I know like football is an instinctual sport. Like if you think it too much, you will get hurt. And you'll be super good. You guys heard this guy named Manti Te'o? He had like the fake girlfriend.
Yeah, the fake girlfriend. Mm-hmm.
Did y'all watch that on Netflix? He had the fake girlfriend.
Yeah, I did.
But he got tricked. But it was like a dude acting like a girl, and it was his long distance. Mm-hmm. He faked their death and all that. So it was on national news and everything. Mm-hmm. He played for Notre Dame. He played for the Chargers, and he could not play in it. He's supposed to be the next best linebacker, like great linebacker. He could not play. Thinking too much. His career only lasted 3.5 years. You know what I mean? He was like a top 8 pick or something like.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. His story was unfortunate.
But his head though, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So sometimes we play ourselves out, like we think ourselves out the game. Maybe I recommend just letting it flow a little bit, like some of the ladies mentioned it.
You know what, Camp? I appreciate that tip, that bit of advice, and I agree with you. And I will take that into consideration and meditate on that.
Yeah, word. No.
I'm actually surprised to hear you say that, Ham.
What? What?
Let it flow? Is that what you said?
Well, what I mean, yeah, I'm not really.
I know what you mean, but you're not a let it flow kind of nigga.
I'm pretty rigid.
Be intentional, put the work in. You're not gonna get what you want. You're not a let it flow type of guy.
To clarify, because I see Tay like, oh yeah, I'm doing the right thing and shit. No, this what I mean by that. So I think Asia's. So if we're using Asia, if you don't mind, we're using as an example, a tangible example. Asia, like she done some exploring, right? She's seen the hard things, been through the hard things, and it's been some time since said hard things, right? So I think she got a full understanding of herself for the most part, and I think we're always learning. So now when you get to a place of comfortability, now when you're on these dates and things, let it flow. Let that nigga trip or not open the door and you got to wait. Don't disqualify him right then and there. Go Dutch or whatever the case is. Just let it be a little bit easier than we normally would have in the past. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Understood.
Because pressure busts pipes sometimes. And niggas don't be fully prepared with all the bravado. We still got insecurities and esteem issues, right? And mother issues and father. So men are living it the same way. We just have to have that bravado. We have to be stoic, you know. But he's sweating just like you sweat.
But you know what? That's good to know. And usually men don't say that, right? And so you giving us game right now, I appreciate that. And you're being very profound. And I appreciate Tuesdays, Ham is on some other stuff on Tuesdays. For real.
You about to catch some hell for it tomorrow, though.
Girl, don't I know it? I'm gonna soak it up right now. But I hear you saying basically give men more grace.
Yeah.
And I can do that. I can do that. And I should do that.
When I met my wife, I had one shoe on and I was talking shit to everybody. I don't know why she come walking up the sidewalk. I said, I see you with your little pot belly and all that. You know what I'm saying? Dirty ass Jordans, everything. But that's my comfortable space. But you know, I could talk shit and it don't offend people for some reason. Like they don't get like super offended. You know? But that's my comfortable space to be in though, right? But it could be nerves, right? In hindsight being 2020. But that's why I always shoot first. You know what I mean? Like I ain't never gonna be hit back. I'm gonna hit first. If I lose, so be it. Like you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like my space. But it also breaks up like monotony. You know what I mean? It breaks the ice because now you gotta talk shit back or else you pussy like, you know what I mean? So
you had one shoe on because you got beat up or
no, my foot was hurting. I had to sacrifice for fashion. It was the last pair of Jordans they had. So
ooh, child, he was like a chick and take them high heels off.
Yeah. And I was just DJing for like 8 hours straight. Man, I was walking up the street, one shoe because my right foot bigger than my left foot. Just weird shit, you know what I mean?
Shit like that. Shit like
so,
that. Shit like
you
that.
know,
Shit like that.
but yeah, man. So, Tay, you think you qualify for the man? Oh, you like a free spirit. I mean, go ahead and say
I
something.
do not. No, I do not.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
I don't think so because the man I want, I'm not mentally ready for him. So no, I'm not ready right now.
Okay, that's it. That is crazy. Shout out to my boy Roz. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. She upstairs though, 4 kids deep. Feel me?
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
And she, yeah, man, I like her. Who did Nay answer? I'm so nervous, man.
No, you asked me.
Whew.
I was surprised you did ask me.
No,
Yeah,
I answered.
Yeah, you did. Remember?
No, I didn't.
You answered
Why
first.
would you ask her she qualified for the man that she wants? She didn't answer that question.
Oh no. Oh my bad. I said was it worth it? Yeah, that's what you said. Go ahead, Mary.
So I don't feel like I've been in a situation to have to qualify for the man that I wanted because most of the times I've always been a lot more to the man than he expected. So there's things that I've done that men never got before or didn't even realize, could be normal. So I never really had to be like Aisha said, like I feel like I've always been like overqualified. Because it's always been just I was always just like, oh, she's loud, she overtalk you, so they never seen that other side of me until actually dating me.
Yeah. Now, Mary, this is all hindsight for you, right? It's irrelevant.
Right.
But have you ever wondered how many men disqualified you off of that? Right, like off the jump?
Yeah, I'm sure plenty have. I had one that tried to before and it didn't really work. That tried to disqualify you for
you bullied him into being with you?
No, I didn't bully him. It was just more like he was upset about some the way I said something on Twitter. And nobody knew we was dealing with each other. But to him, it's like everybody see it. How they looking at me? Nobody even know I fuck with you. Like, so like I don't even know. But he didn't like the way that he didn't like that I always had an opinion. And then also just the way I talked on Twitter. So those were his two main things. But then a lot of shit can be resolved by conversation and just you realize like I don't like this about you either, so compatibility just wasn't there relationship wise. Dope friend, but just coming to terms with that. But it wasn't like he didn't like it, but it wasn't like oh, I'm disqualifying you, but I don't really like this shit, so I don't know how you're gonna be if we were together, type of thing.
Okay. Yeah. So if anybody's out here now, don't be loud. Like that shit is annoying in the club. Like if I'm DJing, it's like that one girl who come in loud and dancing right away. Like you can't even hear the music yet. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't even think it's loud like that. It's just my tone. Like I'm Puerto
I'm
Rican.
No. See what I said about stereotypes earlier? All Puerto Ricans can't knife fight, and all Puerto Ricans don't talk loud.
Shit, I think they all talk loud. If you ask me. Shit.
But damn, no, that's interesting. I want to give all of y'all flowers because everybody was pretty transparent, man. That's real, and I think that's the only way you could get better. You know what I'm saying? And even if we there, if we not getting the approaches or the courtship from the people we want it from, just assess, right? It may be the wrong people, or it's maybe just something you got to tweak. Or you could be like Isha and still date drug dealers and gangsters and
no drug dealers. Hello, I can't do drug dealers.
Scammers.
Maybe a little gambling.
You mean they hesitant on that part?
Wow.
Why she couldn't find the unmute button to say something?
She was a little hesitant with that.
But legit jobs, though. Legit jobs. They can file their taxes. I gotta,
When y'all up here at MGM, just let me know.
Yeah, she say. She says somebody talked you out your Victor Sweets.
My Victorious, yes. And
what happened in the group chat? Stay in the group chat. Don't be putting her business out there.
Them hood niggas are raised a little bit different. That's all I'm gonna say.
Shit like that.
Damn, man, interesting. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. If you missed this one, you an egg, but you can watch it back, and I will be chopping it up for sure. I don't really like Jerry Springer at all, but I do fuck with one of his constructs. Mary, final thought.
Y'all could keep the raw meat, okay? Listen, keep it. I love my strong black men. Keep the raw meat.
Tay?
I just say keep working on you and let the love find you.
Word. Ro?
Don't limit yourself to the love that you deserve.
Word. Isha?
Black men, I'm 10 toes in. That's it. I just can't see myself with anybody else. So that's it.
Word. Miss Nay?
Date who you like and who likes you back, whatever form it comes in.
Word. Dana?
I'll be with who you want without dissing black women. Support black women. That's it.
Word. Sis?
Black women, no men's. I'm sorry. Black men. I'm sorry. No need to date outside your race. We're here, still available. Hamp asked Russ what's his weight limit.
Shit like that.
I love sis tonight.
Hey, sis.
Shoot your shot, sis.
B about to be crying.
Girl, we gonna be crying in the corner. I'm sorry. Avis, I love sis tonight on tequila. I'm gonna send her a bottle. Black women, love yourself. Black men, you can like who you want to like, right? But you don't have to diss us. Black women matter. Black women are love. And if you really want, you can black men, I'm talking about now. I'm just thrown off. I'm sorry. black men, you can love who you want to love without dissing the rest of us, black women. But black women do matter, and we are powerful and potent.
Word. Sis, Joe saying shoot it. Look, Russ was good, Russ. I'm gonna give you his IG, sis. Hey, listen, yeah, I think most black men, right? Because I think the percentage is 83% or 87% still date within their race too. And I think that's the way it needs to be done and should be done. I'm not a proponent of do what you want. I'm a proponent of doing what's right. And I think principles, morals, and values have to matter more. The black family, the nuclear family, that's what we need to be successful. So sometimes we have to put the things we want aside to do what's best for the greater good in these children. So degrees is cool, getting jobs, getting money, but you have to do it and you don't want to do it by yourself. That's the key. That should be the key. Because if you look at the other races that do well, the East Indian man is married. And what is that when they get married?
Arranged marriage.
Arranged, right? In that religion. And when you watch those shows when they dating those old white women, it was like 90 Day Fiance, the parents can't stand it, right? The Asian man, right, is with his woman and they married and they're still gaining success. For some reason, we think we're supposed to do all this shit apart and then come together. But it's the better when you build it, right? Side by side, right? Everybody appreciates that person and what you built so much more, you know? So I think we need to refocus a little bit. The degrees is cute, you know, the basket weaving and all the other shit that you guys do. But put the men more back in the forefront and we need to do the same. And I think we'll get some better results. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and we out.